Okay, guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you're finding my channel for the first time, be sure to subscribe, please. Drop some likes, drop some comments. Let me know if you have any questions. Before I show you what I want to show you and what you probably want to see and why you clicked on this video, just as a disclaimer for the people that need to understand this, right? So everything that we are going to show is an imitation. These are not real firearms. These are toys, and we do not condone the sale or use of deadly and dangerous items, okay? YouTube, these are toys. These are not real guns, and everything that we have is safe. Okay, so with that being said, okay, we're gonna look at my rifle setup, or how you can set up your rifle for airsoft if you're new. Okay, so we have a couple of toys here, okay, that we are currently in the process. I'm gonna say we're working on them because there's one more thing I'm gonna add to sort of make them complete. So we're gonna start with the gas setup first. Okay, so here we are with the tried and true holy grail, the Mark 18 Mod 1 from Tokyo Model Week, the gas blowback variant. One that you definitely have seen on the channel for quite some time. And even though that there is a magazine in it, it is clear she is safe. Okay, let's do a little check. Okay, YouTube, this is a toy. Okay, this is not real. See, this is not real. Safe direction. No BBs, no BBs, safe direction, safe direction. Okay, see? 100% safe, okay? So we're not gonna do any manipulations in any part of this video, right? Definitely no manipulations. What we're gonna talk to you guys about is, basically some things that you can do, or how you can set up, your airsoft toy rifle for success, and what you can sort of do to help yourself out. So for one, we're going to start with, for me, something I think that is the most important thing, right? When it comes to airsoft, right, the most important thing that you need to do is you need to see, obviously, right? You have to protect your eyesight, and you have to see, your target. You have to ID your target, know where you're shooting and who you're shooting, or whatever the case is with those plastic pellets. So for me, for this particular build, I like to go with something that is very basic, something that is, that will work. I think almost any kind of red dot that you can pretty much get your hands on is fine. This particular one, this is an EOTech. It's not a real one, by the way. It's very difficult to source the actual real tan ones here. So just to kind of get that out there. There are a lot of places where you can go. If you want to get a real EOTech, that's fine. I don't advise it if that's not in your budget, but you want to look at something that is, for one, very, I want to say, efficient. Something that works. That is not only cost efficient, but it's also economical for you, okay? I recommend Vector Optics. They do really well, I think, in terms of producing quality optics for the right price. I do run a few of them on some of my setups, but for this particular one, because I just fell in love with the Mark 18 the first time I saw it, I knew that I wanted a holographic sight or some type of EOTech style sight on there. So definitely what you need on your setup is any type of optic that's going to enable you to see your target and engage at 50 meters or anywhere in there, somewhere within that range. Usually, for most airsoft fields, you're not going to be doing any engagements outside of 50 meters. That's basically what the consensus is. So with that being said, any type of red dot is going to be fine. Now, a lot of people, have different tastes in terms of what they want to include on, their optic setups or whatever the case is. But that's entirely based on, play style and preference. But what I want to do is I want to kind of economize it so you pretty much have a good understanding of where you need to go initially. So this particular, setup here, well, when you get it out the box, especially with this Mark 18 from Tokyo Marui, right? You're going to get a set of iron sights. Now, for me right now, I took the iron sights off because I don't really need to have the added weight for a co-witness for something like this. And I found that it's a lot smoother to run without the iron sights. So, we take them off and then we have a little bit more rail space. So the most I'll probably do is I'll add a magnifier, which is something I'm also going to do with something else I'm going to show you. But once again, it's all preference. Now, if you look at my handguard, right, what do you see here? You see something that a lot of people, I want to say they either use it or they don't. They either run it or they don't, right? Once again, it's about preference, okay? What's more important to you, right? Do you like ruggedness or do you like comfort? I like having something to grab onto, right? When I am holding and controlling, essentially my airsoft setup. And what this does for me is it gives me a lot of leverage, because if you don't have this on, this handguard, especially the wrist 2 rail, is very rough and you can cut your hands depending on how your hands are. I mean, I don't have delicate hands, but at the same time, I don't want to grab this thing here just sort of raw. So these panels here, I forgot who makes these panels. I gotta take a look. I gotta find the company. If I find the company, I'll drop a comment somewhere. I'll put it somewhere. But there are a few companies that you can find online where they have these rail panels like this. Just search up like rail panel and you'll find it. This is very common for the Picatinny style rails. So with this foregrip, you can get a nice C-clamp purchase, on your setup like this, so you can sort of really grab it and really get access to that light that's at the front. And that's another thing that you guys want to kind of take a look at there too. Just to kind of add a little bit more focus to what makes it more modular for you. And that's why I feel like this setup is the absolute best. So I like to go with this. This is my go-to for summer weather, right? Now, the thing I like to put at the front, now usually for me, because this is something that I use when I'm indoors, is I like to have a tactical light. I like to run it at the front, usually at the tip right above the muzzle. So depending on whatever muzzle device I have, whether I'm running a mock suppressor like right now, or some type of flash hider or a tracer, I want to have access to the front. So with me having access to this like this, when I'm holding it, I can sort of illuminate, what I kind of have in front of me. So everything is going to be lit up in the dark just by me having this here. Sometimes I might run it on the left, or sometimes I might run it on the right, right? Usually I run it on the tip. Now, if I put my camera on the front, because sometimes I get scope footage for you guys, scope cam footage, you want that scope cam angle, it's better to put the camera on the front, on the top, which I'll show you guys on another build. And then on the left and or the right, depending on, how your hand is situated, you can get access to that light, which is really good. So you definitely want to do that. That'll make it a lot easier for you, okay? So this is just how I run my Mark 18. Usually you see a lot of people put all kinds of stuff here, lasers, other apertures. There's like literally no space here on most people's Mark 18s. I leave this whole entire thing clean. I don't like to have too much weight on the front of, my Mark 18, because it's like, if you do that, then how are you going to maneuver? It's too much clunk, too much furniture. Run it smooth and run it how you fight, And if you look at the rear, Okay, we got the stock, basic stock. I didn't change this stock, but if you look at my grip, yes, that is a different grip. This is the PTS Enhanced Polymer Grip. For those of you guys who have been watching the channel for a while, I did put this grip on about maybe 2.5 to 3 years ago. I believe the box is still sitting somewhere, but this grip, I don't know if it's easy to find anymore, but this is the Magpul style grip. I was going to switch it to the BCM style grip, but because I've had this one for so long, I said, you know what? I'm going to just keep it on here because I have the same grip in black on my M4, my regular M4. But this one is really nice. You have the back strap here, so that's something that you don't get with the regular A2. So you have that comfort where you can sort of hold it and it doesn't bite your hands. And for guys like me that have bigger hands, I like to have that comfort. So when I'm holding it, I can have access to all the controls and I can play with that switch. Everything, it feels really good in my hands and I have really good real estate right here, okay? So that's how I run my grip. Everything else is stock. I did nothing to this lower. Everything is the same. I haven't changed anything on this on this lower part. And then in addition to that, I have my ambidextrous charging handle. So if you notice, a lot of the newer rifles now that they're coming out with for Airsoft are following suit by including ambi charging handles. So the ones that come with the standard Tokyo Marui, I don't know if they're different now, but when I got this one, they didn't have ambi charging handles. So I added this, and this one I think is a Radiant. Yeah, it's a Radiant. Yeah, it's a Radiant Raptor. So, like I said, you want comfort, you know? So build your setup how you want it and how, you know, and essentially make it work for you, right? You want it comfortable. Remember, this is what you're going to use, you know, whether it's a gas blowback or an electric gun, maybe summertime, wintertime, you decide, but you want it to be comfortable, okay? So what are the essentials? Good optic, good light, good grip, you know, good comfort. You want to be able to clamp or hold your setup how you want to for the best performance, and you're good to go, in my opinion. And the magazines are stock magazines with these little things here I like for the little Magpul setup. And then I'm gonna show you guys my current setup that I haven't finished yet. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a whole lot with this very soon. So this is the current outlook for the BCM MCMR 11.5 AEG. Once again, no magazines, no BBs in this magazine. This is 100% clear. There's no battery in here as well. Just want to show YouTube that this is 100% safe, guys, and that this is not real. Okay, you got to go through all these lengths to prove this on YouTube. Do this in my other hand. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see? So we have no battery, okay? Gate Aster, by the way, got all that stuff. No battery, 100% safe. We do not support the endangerment of anything, okay? So, if you look at this, same philosophy, right? We're going for comfort. Now, most of the accessories that you're going to see on this is how the gun essentially came, right? There's not a whole lot that was done to this to make it a little bit better. The only thing that I'll tell you what I added, okay? So once again, we'll start at the top, okay? Your optic. Now, as you notice, the same situation that I got with the Mark 18. I like to have my red dot right up there up top. This is the Ames, the Holliston Ames. You guys have probably seen me run it on a few other builds on the channel and stuff like that. So, you know, you get your quality red dot, whichever one you want, and you mount it. Now, if you notice here, like there's no furniture on the top here except for the dot, and there's a reason for that. I like to run, once again, this setup really smooth. And essentially, this BCM does not come with iron sights. So just as a heads up, if you decide to go with the BCM, you are not going to see any furniture on this. It's going to be 100% clean. It will not look like this. The Mark II, I believe, does come with a hand stop, I think. So if you guys are thinking about that Mark II, that's probably something that you want to kind of do on here. But essentially, this has all of the BCM registered stuff that you get. Well, I'll tell you what it does come with. So you get this BCM authentic grip, okay? You have this stock here, which is adjustable. This is, I think, the Mod 1 BCM stock. It has the points here for the sling. We have one here. You can put the sling here as well. And then you have the insertion point here on the other side as well. You have one here. It's like another QD point. But the thing is, this doesn't really work. I don't know why. And you can always attach one here. So some of this stuff, like I said, it doesn't come with it. So I'm going to show you guys what I added in a second. So you have BCM grip, BCM stock, BCM trigger guard, BCM QD plate here in the back. You have this ambi charging handle, sort of ambi. It's like with a mock bolt. It's also a BCM part. It counts as a BCM part. You have this BCM bolt, which is a dummy bolt, okay? You can adjust the hop there. So the hop dial is right there, okay? And yeah. What else? You have this, what am I saying? You have the BCM MCMR rail, the M-lock rail. Now this is modular. So what a lot of people are doing is they're going crazy and they're putting all kinds of stuff here. I don't know why, but you know, that's what they decided they want to do. And obviously the magazine has a trait on it too as well, but it's somewhere else. I don't have it in it right now because I don't want to run that mag. I prefer to run the long boys. So that's me. You know, I'm a nomad. Okay, so yeah, not a whole lot of furniture. As I flip this over, you can see the trades. You got BCM trades on the lower here. So the lower is an official BCM, as well as the, you know, the upper receiver and also the handguard, okay? This also comes with the flash hider as well, the birdcage one, but I took it off and I mounted this tactical suppressor that I'm also going to modify. And I'll talk about that way later in another video when this is finally done. So in terms of what I added to it, it's quite a bit. As you can see here, we have this sling, this tactical sling, which is really nice. I like the color. And if you get your QD points here, right, you can attach the sling directly to the stock, and then you can get another BCM one just like this, another BCM QD point, and you can attach it directly to the M-lock rail right here. So I currently got my sling attached right to the rail, okay? So on the stock and on the rail. That's how I like to do it. Keep it real simple, keep it real smooth. Well, the only drawback to this is that if you're shouldering it, it's very difficult to switch shoulders. So I won't be able to switch shoulders with this because the sling is a little bit shorter and it's tight, but it's a lot easier for me to transition to my secondary if I need to do any CQB stuff. So I prefer it that way. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. Now for the M-lock rail, okay, I decided to cover this whole entire thing. Now this setup does come with the ones that you get from, you know, BCM Air, right? They say BCM Air on it, but you can take those off and you can get authentic grip panels like this one. This one has the trades. Where are the trades, bro? This one has trades. No? It says BCM. You can barely see it. Is that BCM? You can barely see it, dude. Yo. Yeah, it says it right there. This is BCM. So, like I said, BCM parts, they're really popular in Japan. I don't know why, but you can get a whole lot of different stuff on this here, you know, from BCM. For this particular setup here, as you can see, I got to run almost the same as the Mark 18 with a few little changes. And also I have the Mod 3 foregrip right here, so I can sort of C-clamp it, you know. I like to kind of C-clamp it like this. The light is over here on the side, and the reason for that is because I got the camera on here on the front. So I currently have this set up how I would have it for outdoors if I'm playing. So it's really long. I got the camera on the front so I can record my long range stuff. And you know, it's not too long, pretty nice. Okay. When you fold out the stock completely, you take this out, there you go. You got a little bit of length right there. That's at about maybe 13 inches combined when you pull the whole stock out. But no, we're actually way more. What am I saying? It's way more longer than that. I'm getting my metrics are way off. Scrap what I just said. It's longer, definitely, when you take this out. This forward assist doesn't do anything, by the way. Okay, so it's supposed to have a lot of range on it. Currently, it doesn't really work, so we got to get it fixed, right? But this is definitely going to be really nice once it's done. Okay, so that's kind of a part of my surprise, but I'll talk more about that in the future. So once again, real simple sling. Maybe I didn't talk about the sling that much actually on the other builds. So here you go. I'll take it out so I can compare it. So what are you looking at? Slings, optics, lights, and anything that you want, any type of grip aperture that you want on the front. That way when you hold your rifle, it's comfortable for you. So your grip has to be good. You know, your charging handle, that's essentially going to help how you handle, you know, the system, how you reload and things like that. You got to have a good charging handle. You got to have a good sling, okay? People don't talk about that enough. Like this, the quality of your sling is very important. Like I've literally seen people, like they go out, they get a not so good sling, you know, and then they're running or something, and then the airsoft toy drops, boom. Okay, so get a good sling. I like this setup here for the Mark 18 because when I have it like this, okay, kind of like on the single point, it's easier to shoulder to switch. So I can switch shoulders really nice with this, okay? But instead of doing the 2-point, like putting it here, then it's a little bit different. So for the Mark 18, I run it like this, and for the BCM, I do the 2-point, right? That's pretty much it, guys. Suppressors, lights, optics, and grips, and good charging handles, and good slings, okay? And some furniture here so you can kind of grab. So if you guys have any questions about how to set up your airsoft main, your primary, secondary, whatever the case is, go ahead, drop those comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions about my setups, okay, drop those comments. Once again, guys, thank you so much. See you guys on the field.